Hey guys, Cal here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be specifically on the Sneaky Goblins and how to use them. This one is going to be a more guide-esque video to kind of show the best way to farm with Sneaky Goblins. There is no specific army composition for your Sneaky Goblins. I'm not even going to be using a whole army here. It's mostly just to tell you how to do it. But when it comes to Sneaky Goblins, if you want a very specific army, it should look like something like this as for one of your raids, and then the second raid should have more jump spells. But we'll just look at it as if you have one jump spell per raid. You should have 4 in total, so you can get 4 attacks in at the very least. But just space out your jump spells in a way that you will be getting at least 1 jump spell per raid. And you want a total of 16 wall breakers. That makes the composition I just showed you. If you cooked that army twice, you would have 16 super wall breakers. You usually have 1 or 2 left over. This is just for insurance purposes, because we are going to be using very little Sneaky Goblins. So I'm going to show you a video or a few replays to show you what I kind of mean here. So here we see a base with collectors on the outside that are full, and this should be, and there was like one right here, and this should be your go-to, making sure that those collectors are full so you can get the most out of your Sneaky Goblins. Then we're sniping out these 2 storages so that we have a straight line to that town hall, taking out a Dark Elixir storage on the way, which is nice. However, you don't always need a Dark Elixir storage. You actually want very little in the way of your pathing to the town hall. You can skip the town hall altogether if you don't care about trophies, but this guide is going to be specifically for those who want to maintain trophies, because maintaining trophies is important in the sense that the higher you go, the more loot you'll find, and the higher, because we don't care about the town hall level. If you're attacking a town hall that is higher than you, you'll get actually more loot per a hit here. And here's another example. This one is more specifically how you should be looking to push. There's a town hall close to the outside here, and really all we need to do is send in a few Sneaky Goblins and take it out with an invisibility spell. There is an easy access to this Dark Elixir storage right there, and that's why we are also going to snipe that out. But being able to efficiently take out town halls and climb will help you find more loot more quickly as you get better at the attack. If you notice, we don't bring any jumps, or we don't bring any hastes. I think hastes are a little overrated, just because usually what you can do with 1 haste, you can do with 1 invisibility spell, especially if you're doing it the way I'm doing it. If you're trying to get all the loot in a base, I can see where haste could come in to be quite important. But for the most part, if you're just trying to snipe out these town halls like I am, and kind of using very little of your army. Here I'm attacking with only 28 Sneaky Goblins after those few were taken. And we're just going to come in here and snipe out this town hall. And just by sniping out the town hall, we get 1,000 Dark Elixir, and we can do multiple attacks. So hopefully with our 66 Sneaky Goblins, we can show you a little bit on how it's done. This will take some getting used to, as you're going to be needing to place your invisibility spells quite well to get the most out of them. And you might fail 1 or 2 times. Here's a nice exterior town hall, so we're just going to send 2 Sneaky Goblins at each of these collectors, which I don't recommend ever going for collectors unless, or storages, unless they're on the outside, just because the amount. Ooh, we got a tornado trap. Always bait for the tornado trap if possible. Okay, we're going straight into there. I would recommend never going for the storages unless they're directly on the outside, because usually a storage, when deeper into the base, will cost you at the very least one invisibility spell and a few sneaky goblins, which is a lot more and not as efficient as just going straight for it. So here we only used 18 sneaky goblins and a jump to get that raid done here. Here we have a great base here, and you'll find a lot of these types of bases as you go up, and these types of bases as you go higher up in trophies will happen on higher level town halls, meaning that you'll get even more from these types of bases. So here we're going to try our best to not have to use as many sneaky goblins on these storages. This storage is all the way over here. We don't want to get that, especially that these are empty on dead bases. We're going to drop a jump here and go straight to this town hall. And for this very little amount of sneaky goblins used, we're going to be able to snipe out this town hall, get some trophies, and get a lot of loot really quickly. And this is why I say don't go for even dark elixir storages when they're full. If they're deep in the middle of the base, it's never worth it, because look, 25 sneaky goblins, 7,000 dark elixir gained very quickly. So we're going to keep on rolling. Let's make sure, always make sure that you have a jump spell cooking. It looks like we're going to run out of jump spells here. This is only going to be a short video. We're not doing a whole army, but this was not even with a whole 2 camps. We've already hit 2 bases, coming along our 3rd. If we had even more available troops at our disposal, this would be even better. Here we'll be doing a sneaky little trick, which is we'll send a sneaky goblin here to test. And here maybe a jump could be, or not jump, a haste could be useful. But even then, we wouldn't be able to get past these gold storages with a haste. So we'll be using the same amount of spells, even more spells actually, in this situation here. I'm going to get a bit greedy here, and yes, okay, paid off. Usually you want to be safe with your sneaky goblins, because we have a storage on the outside. I'm not even going to go for this storage. I'm just going to snipe out these ones because it's 1 sneaky goblin each. If you have a hero like I do, we can actually do this and just snag it. But if you are attacking regularly with this attack strategy, all your heroes will be down no matter what level. It just depends on how often you attack. So already, if we look at what we've done 1, 2, 3 attacks. I was doing some attacks before, so I believe it was right here. So we've done 3 very quick attacks, and let's keep on rolling until we can no longer work. There, it's very deep in the core base. It's not really worth our time. Here, we would go for it if these collectors here were on the outside, but they're on the inside. So to get to these on the inside, if we just look at what we might have to do, we would have to clear out this, break here, go in, hope that this doesn't get targeted, and then we would have to do the same over here, come in, break in, and after that we'd need a jump to get into this dark elixir and a jump to get into here. And just by looking at that, you can see how quickly you're going to have to use so many more sneaky goblins, that even though that base is dead, and this base is dead too, it's just to get to this loot is going to cost us so much. And to get into this compartment here, because this is just 1 jump to get over this, but if you come straight in here with the sneaky goblins, they'll go on this way with you, they'll go this way with you, which means that you'll have to clear out this gold storage right here, this, to even have a chance to get here. And even though it's worth the loot here, overall, it's not like worth it to get all the loot. If I was me here, I will be doing what I'm doing here. I would snipe out just this dark elixir here with the 2, take the loss on the trophies because we're already in Masters 1, and then dip. But as the higher you go, nice 4K, 2 sneaky goblins. See how much more gold, dark elixir you get than if we went for all that loot, and we would get twice as much loot, but we would spend such an incredible amount more sneaky goblins doing so. So we're going to keep on going. Here we have a nice exterior town hall that we're going to go for. So we're going to send in sneaky goblins only to the storages that we need to get through in order to... Oh, there's a tornado trap there. Unfortunate. We have a ton of wall breakers, so we're not too worried about it. The wall breakers are mostly there if you're full committing, or if you are committing to... Oh, let's just... Or if you're just bad like me and can't get through this wall. The wall breakers are mostly there for some of the bases that you noticed will have... Where are we going? Oh, we're going the wrong way. The wall breakers are mostly there for bases that are similar to the ones that we just saw, where the Dark Elixir drills are very close to the edge of a wall, making it so that breaking through that wall and only sending a few sneaky goblins there is worth it. But when they're way out there in the middle of the base, it's never really worth it, because you're going to be spending more than 2. I think 2 is the most amount you ever want to send at yeah. Ooh, nice. 2 is always the most you want to be spending per storage, per collector. Storages, of course, if they're full, are worth more. Probably you can send in 3 if they're a little bit more deep, but sending in more than you need to just kind of takes away from the potential amount of Dark Elixir you can make if you just sit down and really just make sure you're hitting the correct bases every single time. Here we still have 50 Sneaky Goblins. We started off with 60, and we didn't have our second army camp full. We only had about half of our camp. So here we're going to be doing another drop one, because these collectors are full. You don't want to do these too much. I recommend doing 1 every 6 raids, because if you think of it this way, or 1 every 3 raids, for every 1 star you get, that is trophies gained, you know? But losing a raid counts as losing losing a raid counts as losing a raid. Who would have thought? But a raid, if you look on this left side right here, I'm going to circle it. The defeat is usually as much as 3-starring a base. It's usually equivalent. So for you to make up trophies lost, you need to get 3 1-stars. So that's why you really don't want to do more dropping. Oh, did I forget to... I'll just put Sneaky Goblins in here for now. We're not going to worry too much about the wall breakers. But yeah, so every 3 raids you do, every 3 1-stars, it's like you got a 3-star. Because 3 stars, 3 1-stars equals 3 stars. And that will make sure that you don't fall too far behind. Especially if you're in lower leagues like Crystal, especially Crystal 3. They'll hit a point where you'll find so many good raids and you're dropping so much that you'll eventually hit no loot. And you never want to hit no loot, because that means you have to push back up. Meaning that you have to use a different army, and if you already cooked up those Sneaky Goblins, it means that you no longer are using them and you're wasting that time you could be efficiently Sneaky Goblin farming. So here's a storage on the outside. I'm not even going to go for it, because that's not as much as 3 full collectors, and it's going to drop me trophies that I'm not interested in doing. So just make sure that you're thinking about these things before going for a base. And if you're this picky as I'm being right now, I'm really trying to bring you what farming like this is like at its peak, and then you can decide whether or not you want to do certain aspects differently. Maybe you want to go for more loot but do less raids. I'm very specifically trying to get as much Dark Elixir as possible, and because of that, I'm being very picky to only hit bases that either have a town hall on the outside, so I can... Ooh, I missed it. Only have town halls on the outside so that I can keep pushing, because the more I push, the more Dark Elixir I'll find. But if you need, let's say, Golden Elixir, that's great at lower trophy levels, because you'll find more dead bases, and more dead bases tend to have non-Dark Elixir. So here we have full collectors, very good. We're going to hit those. This one is why we bring the wall breakers. We're going to wall break in here, because we need to get this Dark Elixir here, and it's going to be very minimal resources, or very minimal, yeah, resources spent this way. Now we have to go for this town hall. I think the best measure to hit the town hall would be jumping over here, and to do that we have to clear that what's it called, collector. or that elixir storage. We can also go a safe route and jump right here, where we wall break again right here, which actually might be more beneficial for us. So we'll go 1, 2, 3 here, and then break in there. Great, and we get it. 1, 2, 3. This one is using a little bit more sneaky goblins than we would use going for the other one, but it's safer. We'll take this out, and now we can send in 1 sneaky goblin to test it out. This is saving us specifically invisibility spells, versus if we did the other way, it would be saving us sneaky goblins. So again, that's up to you which one you find more important. Right now, I think I do want to save... Ooh, we hit a trap here. And I do want to save up on these invisibility spells, because invisibility spells are also important because they can make it so that your wall breakers can get in. And just like that, 16 goblins used. 16. Only 16 for... What was it? 5k dark, a star. And it's like, why would you ever go for more? Like, why would you ever try to snipe out more loot when you can get so much loot for so little if you're just a little bit patient? And because what used to be the case, I used to do this with electro dragons, and on some accounts I still do. Of course it isn't as effective as the sneaky goblins, but really just only focusing on dark elixir was very effective with the electro dragons. And I know this update happened a very long time ago, so it's not as relevant, but back in the day when you needed to use elixir for your troops, and spend resources, the need for efficient, like, we couldn't be this efficient with our dark elixir because we'd be spending elixir to do so and we'd run out of elixir. And now you don't need to spend any resources. Again, 10k. I will say this one is an outlier because it was right there, but the more raids you do, and this is why you want to do this, the more raids you do, the more opportunity you will have to find these crazy bases. If you're only doing 2 attacks, yes, you might find some crazy bases, but you'll only see 2. Whereas I'm doing so many right now, gaining those trophies, gaining that loot, and I'm giving myself more opportunity like this to find these really great bases. Here, we only have 26 sneaky goblins, so we will take the loss here. And I think this might be a good time to kind of close up the video. I hope it did make a lot of sense to all of you. I definitely will try getting the win, but we don't have the jump spells to really combat this. But we do have the invisibility spells, so we can definitely try here. But at the very least, we are going to get a good chunk of dark elixir because of those full collectors. I'm going to use my wall wrecker here. Let's go wall wreck here to kind of tank for us. We'll send in some sneaky, we'll send in some wall breakers because this is our final raid. We'll make sure to kind of break our way into. Nice, we got into this town hall compartment. Let's see where we're going. We're going here. You know, instead of making my sneaky goblin go all the way there, I'm going to wall break into this. I'm going to use my king to get this gold storage. That will hopefully make it so that my sneaky goblins will go straight to the town hall. They are, so it looks like we, even without a jump and with so little to our name when it comes to the troops we're bringing, we're still going to get a lot of dark elixir here and still get this star. And there is no beating this. I don't think you can ever have a strategy that will get you this good of results. I'm going to go really cheeky here and try to get the dark elixir here. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this invisible and then make this invisible to go straight for that dark elixir storage. And it looks like we're even going to get this dark elixir storage to end it up. So, boom. That is going to be the raid here. Plenty of loot gathered with not even 2 full collectors or 2 full army camps. And you can just imagine how much you can get off boost. I've done plenty of videos on this, but I really want to make a guide going in depth on this. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. I believe it is 10, yeah. 10 raids with not even a full army camp. And because we got 10 raids in, we saw so many great bases, and let's do a little tally on how we did here. So we got 7 plus 11, 18 plus 5. 18 plus 5 is 23. 23, we'll just say 1, 24. 24 plus 6 is 30. 30 plus 5, 35. 39. 39 plus 1, 40. 47, 48. 48,000 Dark Elixir, 20 minutes, not even 2 camps, full. So that's just as much as you can get here. You can be be as efficient as you need to be with this army. And this isn't even counting, that's just with the loot gained. I'm not even counting the loot bonus you get from winning. I'm not talking about the star bonus you get from getting 5 raids in. I'm not talking about the trophies gained. There's just so many other aspects of the base that you can do. And for people that care, because some people do, some people don't, this is really a mean way of farming, because if you don't use a certain percentage of your army, those people don't get shields. So you're actually stealing all their Dark Elixir and not giving them shields. So you're actually being a big bully towards them too. So for people that like to be bullies, this is also a great attack strategy for you. It's not the reason I do it. I do it because it's efficient, but it is a little funny to think about. So hope you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure to let me know down in the comment sections how successful you were at this attack, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.